In this episode of Newsweek South Asia, we turn to a development that has once again exposed Pakistan's deepening terror playbook. With the NIA widening its probe into the Red Fort blast and Delhi police uncovering yet another ISI-linked module, India is staring at a renewed surge of Pakistan-sponsored hybrid warfare. Sleeper cells, white-collar radicalization, and urban targeted terror plots. To help us decode the larger implications of these arrests and what they reveal about Pakistan's expanding proxy network, we are joined by someone who has studied this threat landscape for years. Dr. Abhinav Pandya, founder and CEO of the Usanas Foundation, is a noted expert on terrorism, radicalization, and security dynamics in Jammu and Kashmir. Hello, sir. Welcome to Newsweek South Asia.
Thank
Let me
you.
begin by asking you, how significant is the arrest of ISI-linked operatives at a time when the Red Fort terror probe is expanding? Does this reflect a larger Pakistan-backed escalation against India?
I mean, these arrests are very critical, but I'm not really surprised because Pakistan has been maintaining these sleeper cells for a very, very long duration of time in India. In fact, back in 2000s, and I guess even after late 1995, Pakistan has been maintaining its covert sleeper cells of terror groups like Jaish, Lashkar in various parts of the country, not just Jammu and Kashmir, but in Delhi, in Ahmedabad, in Rajasthan. And we have come across many cases of terrorist attacks by some of these groups like Lashkar and all through their proxies like Indian Mujahideen and all. In other parts of the country, like there were attacks in Gujarat and in Ahmedabad, there were attacks in Mumbai, there were attacks in UP, in Ayodhya, and Kashi, and this Banaras. So that, I'm not really surprised. And now these things are coming out because after the Operation Sindoor, certain things have changed in Pakistan's strategic calculus. So this is, I mean, I guess the more wider or terrorist attacks and this, countrywide terror operations.
So the Delhi car blast follows a familiar pattern. Sleeper cells, hybrid warfare, cross-border handlers. Is this part of Pakistan's new terror doctrine designed to hit Indian cities while denying involvement?
So I don't think it's actually a very new or a novel way. Generally, in terror operations, you have a certain command and control structure. Like there's a structure. So you will have in the cases of cross-border terrorism, you will have a handler sitting across the border. Perhaps like let's say in this case, maybe in Pakistan or in Turkey or Bangladesh. Then there are sleeper cells in the target country. Normally, the sleeper cells which are kept for surveillance, they are the part of the different team, and the sleeper cells and the team which actually attacks, that is a different team. And they can be one team also. It depends on the internal dynamics of the terrorist organization. Then there are local handlers, the OGWs. That's what we call overground workers. So it's a familiar pattern, but the change that I see now is that they are fully prepared to orchestrate such things across the length and breadth of this country.
NIA and Delhi police have busted two Pakistan-linked modules in 2 months. Does this indicate better Indian counter-terror capability or a surge in Pakistan's attempts to destabilize India?
Well, in my opinion, I think it's the surge in Pakistan's terrorist operations in India. So let me tell you very frankly that Pakistan has invested in this terror ecosystem for more than 3 decades, and they have done it in a very systematic manner. They have their sleeper cells across the country, not just in Jammu and Kashmir. And these groups like Lashkar and Jaish, they have robust linkages with the local Indian terror groups as well as the Islamist organizations, Islamist charities. So they have their systems in place. Now, whenever they want to activate things, they can do that because they have their proxies working here. And we have seen that in the past also, they could manage to orchestrate terror attacks in various parts of the country, in some parts of the country, in Gujarat, in Ayodhya, Bihar. So this is more like a surge.
With 7 arrests in the Red Fort blast case, do these NIA raids prove that Pakistan is running multiple sleeper cells across India?
Yes, Pakistan is running multiple sleeper cells across India, and now I must say that this is a very intricate web. See, there was a parallel to what happened in Faridabad in Delhi Metro. There was another incident in Gujarat in which one doctor was caught planning to poison the people with ricin, a very high category poison. So that was found to be affiliated with the Islamic State affiliates in this region. So now Pakistan's sleeper cell ecosystem is not simply confined to the groups that it is directly handling, like Lashkar Jaish and all, but also you have transnational terror groups like Al Qaeda and Al Qaeda Indian subcontinent ISKP spreading its tentacles across the country. So Pakistan's intelligence is very deeply connected with these groups also, and these sleeper cells are operating in various parts of the country.
The suicide bomber was an assistant professor. How dangerous is this trend of white collar radicalization promoted by cross border handlers?
Well, again, here I would like to say that white collar terrorism has always existed. If you look at the earliest terrorist commanders of Jammu and Kashmir, like Maqbul Bhatt and Hashim Quraishi and all, they were not uneducated illiterates. No, but they were people who were university graduates, and some of them were masters, some of them were highly qualified people. Someone like Yasin Malik also is a master. And in the early days of Kashmir militancy, Kashmir University was the center of all these separatists. Even later, people like Omar Sheikh Saeed, who was released with Maulana Masood Azhar, and he's the member of Jaish-e-Mohammed, also Al Qaeda to a large extent. He is an LSE graduate. All the people who went on to bomb the Pentagon and Twin Towers, they were mostly very educated people. Even in the recent past in Jammu and Kashmir, if you look at Burhan Wani, he was an engineer.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir.
Thank you.